What's up, y'all? I'm Davey Blue Jay. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you about my mission and how you can be a part of my journey. So, I am a passionate human, passionate teacher, musician, student of life, and I'm on a mission to reach the masses, to spread as much love as I can, spread as much wisdom as I can through music as one of the modalities. Music to me is not just music. Music is a healing practice. It is inherently ingrained with ancient wisdom. It is a modality to make a difference, an avenue of spreading love, spreading understanding, compassion, kindness, and wisdom. And it's also been an object of growth. It's been an avenue for me to grow and face my shadow through as well. So I have a lot of respect and love for music, and I hope that you'll join me along my journey to make as much as an impact as I can while I'm here as Davey. So if you are of the mind of spirituality, if you're of the mind of healing, of the mind of, you appreciate, you respect therapy, or you are someone who is an artist as well, who strives to make meaningful art, then this could be a cool fit. So feel free to stick around, and I'm excited for all that we're gonna do together. So let me go ahead and tell you a bit more about my music. Genre-wise, you could define it as some tags you could associate with it are lo-fi folk, indie alternative, experimental rock, psychedelic rock, soul. I do experiment a lot. I'm a very experimental musician, so sometimes you might be like, I heard some country in there, or I heard some, like jazz in there, right? Some common influences that people hear in my music, and I love hearing about influences because it's always something that I don't really, it's often something I don't like expect, or I wasn't like trying to sound like them, and it's like, oh cool, they must have been drawing from like a similar, part of the ether as me. I get like, which is an honor, when you hear like Velvet Underground, I hear like the Grateful Dead. Other people think I sound like the Beatles, as well as Alex G. Let's see, who else? Violet Femmes. And these are all like badass, so badass, references. So I feel flattered in that way. But at the core, what I'm doing with music is I'm striving to get more and more to the truth, more and more to meaning, more and more to messages that just feel really authentic to me. And often I'm telling stories that I've learned through that get to it, the heart of a very specific emotion. And I encode, like, a lot of my messages are prayers. A lot of my messages are in my music. My lyrics are affirmational. If you've heard of that, affirmations, it's like a word or phrase you repeat, and you feel into. That to me is like a spell, it is a spell, and so I strive to get more and more to the meaning with my music. I'm never done learning, and I'm never done playing and experimenting, and music also is how I get to play with my inner child. And because at the core of it, to me, and another thing I'm excited about with this journey is that I'm a teacher. I teach. I'm a wellness instructor and a music healing instructor, a music instructor. So I teach other people how to, play more, like the skills they need to play more musically, and how to get to really what music is about at its core to me. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Be sure to engage with those videos so I know that y'all are digging it and you vibrate with it. The thing is that, yeah, well, where was I? Music is healing, and the more that the more that I go on my journey, the more I'm able to get to like the core of what it is to me. And I'm inspired by musicians who treat it like therapy, and it really is therapy to me. And I do weekly therapy, and so that helps me get more and more to what I'm feeling, right? So I used to, when I started out writing, or I feel like I've been writing. I have been, tapping into songwriting energy since I was a little kid. I remember being like 6 years old and being like, wow, this just feels really natural to me. Has anybody related to that? But when later on writing songs, I was tapping into this kind of energy of just trying to feel something. So a lot of my songs were kind of punk, a little edgy. I just try to feel something, maybe throw in some kind of argumental kind of language, like, what do you mean when you say that? Like, what the F? And also my singing style is very punk, because that's how I like a lot of music that's punk, and also that's just how I naturally would sing, was just kind of a little throaty, kind of talky, and I was mimicking music that I liked, and also but also as I continued on my songwriting journey, I got more and more in my musical journey, got more and more into the technique of singing, like exploring different techniques. So rather than just, what do you mean? What do you mean now? Like, what do you mean, baby? Yeah. Oh, yeah, what do you mean? That's just riffing on something there, right? I love singing, and I started playing with just all types of stylistic elements, themes, and genres in my vocals. Raspy rock, getting quiet, talky, kind of like Dylan. Sometimes people think I sound like Bob Dylan. Anyway, I love music. I could go on and on, but what I'm getting at in this video is, if you want some, if this all vibes with you, stick around. If you like this, if you dig my music, your support means a lot, in whatever ways. At daveybluejay.com, you can check out all the ways. I got the donations going. I got Patreon. I got all the socials. My music's on all the platforms. Bandcamp is really cool to the artists, so you could support on there, buy music there. But ultimately, stick around if you dig what I'm laying out, and drop a comment. I'd love to engage as well. I have a Discord too, so I'm open to building community there. My Instagram is for community also. So yeah, let me know, y'all. Thank you. Peace.